My name is Florence. I am 18 years old. I live in New York with my parents. I use a wheelchair. I cannot walk. My legs do not move. I was not always like this. When I was small, I could run and play. But when I was 12, I got sick. The doctor said it was a disease. It hurt my legs. After that, I could not stand again. Many years have passed. I finished school last year. Now I stay at home. I read books. I watch the street from my window. I see many people. They walk, talk, and smile. I see girls my age. They walk with their boyfriends. The boys hold their hands. They laugh. They take pictures. Sometimes they kiss. When I see that, I feel something inside. I look down at my legs. I cannot move them. I think, why not me? I am not a bad person. I am not mean. I also want love. I also want someone to care, but nobody ever looks at me like that. I feel small. I feel alone. My friends from school still text me, but they are busy now. They go to college. They go to parties. I stay at home. I try to be happy, but some days are hard. I look at myself in the mirror. I see a girl with brown hair and soft eyes. I think I look okay. But then I remember I am on a wheelchair. Maybe that is all they see. One afternoon, I sat near the window. I saw a boy and girl laughing outside. The girl looked a bit like me, but she could walk. She ran, and the boy ran after her. I smiled a little, but then I felt my smile go away. I closed the curtain and turned my chair. My eyes felt warm. I did not cry, but I wanted to. That evening, I did not talk much at dinner. My mom asked, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm just tired." But my dad looked at me for a long time. He said nothing. He just watched. The next day, he came to my room. He sat beside me. He said, "Can we talk?" I said yes. He smiled and touched my hand. "You are quiet these days," he said. "You used to smile more. What's going on?" I looked down. I didn't know what to say. I stayed quiet. He waited. Then he said, "Is it about the wheelchair?" I felt my face get hot. I nodded slowly. He gave a small sigh. "Florence," he said, "your legs don't move. That's true. But your heart, your mind, your smile, those work just fine. You are strong. You are smart. You are still you." I looked at him. I wanted to believe him, but I said, "Nobody sees that, Dad. They only see the chair. I see girls my age. They have love. They have boys who care. But no one ever looks at me like that." He did not answer right away. Then he said, Let me tell you something. When I was young, I had a friend. Her name was Lily. She was also in a wheelchair. But she was full of life. She was funny and kind. Many people liked her. Not because of her legs, but because of her heart. You remind me of her. I said nothing. He smiled. Florence, do you think love is only for people who can walk? I shook my head. Then why do you think you don't deserve it? I thought about his words. I did not have an answer. He stood up. You are more than what people see. Don't forget that. Then he left the room. I sat there for a long time. I looked out the window again. The street was quiet. It was getting dark. I thought about the girl who looked like me. I thought about Lily, my dad's friend. I tried to imagine her, a happy girl in a wheelchair. I tried to imagine myself like that. The next morning, I got ready early. I brushed my hair. I wore a soft blue top. My mom smiled. Going out? She asked. I said yes. My dad came in. Want to go to the park? I nodded. He lifted me into the car. He put my chair in the back. At the park, the sun was warm. Children ran around. Dogs barked. People walked by. I sat near the lake. My dad sat on a bench. I looked around. I saw many faces. Some looked at me, then looked away. One woman smiled at me. I smiled back. A boy walked past with his dog. The dog came to me and sniffed my hand. I laughed. The boy said, "Sorry about that." I said, "It's okay. He's cute." The boy smiled. His name is Max. I reached out and touched Max's head. He wagged his tail. The boy looked at my chair, then looked at me. "Do you come here often?" he asked. I shook my head. "First time in a while." He sat down on the grass. Max lay next to him. "I'm Jake," he said. I said, "I'm Florence." We talked for a few minutes. He told me he lived nearby. He liked walking Max here. I told him I used to come here when I was small. He smiled. "It's a nice place," he said. I nodded. Then he looked at his watch. "I have to go. It was nice meeting you, Florence." I said, "You too." He stood up and waved. "Bye, Max," I said. The dog barked softly. When we went home, I felt different. I told my mom about Max. I told her about Jake. She smiled. "That's nice," she said. My dad looked at me and smiled too. "See?" he said. "The world is not blind. Some people look deeper." That night, I looked in the mirror again. I saw the same girl, but something had changed. My eyes looked stronger. I smiled. It felt real this time. Before I share the rest of my story, I need to know, where are you listening from? Knowing someone hears me, understands me, gives me strength. The next morning, I went to the window again. The street was quiet. I looked for the boy with the dog, but he was not there. I smiled to myself. Maybe he comes later. That afternoon, I asked my dad, "Can we go to the park again?" He looked happy. "Of course," he said. We got ready and left. The sky was bright. The air felt fresh. I liked that feeling. At the park, we sat near the lake again. I looked around, but Jake was not there. I waited, but I didn't want to look like I was waiting. I watched the birds. I watched the kids play. I watched the water move. After some time, I saw Max. He ran toward me again. My face lit up. Jake came behind him. "Hi again," he said. I smiled. "Hi, Max," I said, petting the dog. Jake laughed. "I guess he remembers you." Jake sat on the grass. My dad gave me a look and walked to another bench. He wanted to give us space. I liked that. Jake asked me simple things. "Do you like music? Do you like books?" I told him I liked soft songs and love stories. He said he liked the same things. We talked more this time. It felt easy. He did not ask about my chair. He did not look at it much. He looked at my face. That made me feel good. After some time, he said, "You seem nice." I smiled. "Thanks." "You too," Max barked. We both laughed. We met again the next day. Then again 2 days later. It became normal. The park was not just a place. It became something more. A place to smile. A place to feel free. One day, Jake brought 2 drinks. "I got you apple juice," he said. "I didn't know what you like, but I guessed." I took the juice and said, "Good guess." I liked how he talked to me. He didn't talk slow or strange. He talked like I was normal. I liked that most. After 2 weeks, he asked, "Can I add you on Instagram?" I said yes. That night, I saw his message. It said, "It was nice today." I replied, "Yes." Max makes me happy. He said, "You do too." I stared at that message for a long time. My heart felt warm. I didn't know what to say back. I just wrote, "Thank you." The next morning, I told my mom. She smiled. "He likes you," I said. "But why? He could talk to any girl. I can't even stand." She held my hand. "Love is not in the legs," she said. "It is in the heart, the mind, the voice, the way you care." I stayed quiet. I was scared to hope, but I also wanted to believe. Jake and I kept meeting. He made me laugh. He talked about his school. He asked about my dreams. I told him I wanted to work with animals. "Maybe at a pet shop or shelter," I said. He smiled. That's perfect for you. One day I asked him, do people treat you different because of Max? He laughed. Yes, sometimes. But I don't mind. He's my best friend. I looked at Max. He was chewing a stick. You're lucky, I said. Jake looked at me. I think I'm lucky for something else too. I looked away. He said, Florence, can I ask you something? I nodded. Do you feel sad when people stare? I paused, then said, yes, but I'm used to it. He said, I don't stare, but I see you. His words stayed with me. Later that night, I sat in my room. I looked at our pictures. He had posted one of Max and me on his story. He wrote, she makes him smile. My face felt warm. I covered my face with my hands. Next week, he came to the park with something new, a small flower. It's not big, he said, but I thought of you when I saw it. I took the flower and smiled. It's perfect. Then he said, can I say something? I said yes. He looked nervous. I like talking to you. I think about you when I'm not here. I looked down. Then I looked up. I think about you too, I said. He smiled. We didn't say more. When I got home, I felt full inside. Not heavy, just full. Like I was real again. Like I was more than a girl in a chair. The next time we met, he said, some of my friends want to meet you. I felt scared. Why? I asked. Because I talk about you, he said. They want to see the girl who makes me smile. I didn't know what to say. He added, only if you want to. I said, maybe later. I told my dad that night. He listened. Then he said, you are blooming, Florence. I said, blooming? He smiled. Like a flower. You are growing again. But not all days were easy. One day, I saw Jake with two girls. They were laughing. They looked perfect. Long legs, pretty hair. I felt small again. When Jake came to me later, I asked, who were they? He said, friends from class. I nodded, but I was quiet. He noticed. Florence, he said. They're just friends. Why do you look sad? I said, I can't walk. They can. Maybe they're better. He looked serious. Stop that, he said. You are not less because of your legs. You are more. You try harder. You smile even on hard days. You care. That is more. I looked at him. Why do you care so much? I asked. He leaned closer. Because I like you. And I want you to believe in yourself. Like I believe in you. That night, I cried, but they were not sad tears. They were soft, light tears. Something inside me was changing. I looked at myself again. Same face, same chair, but new eyes. I saw more now. I saw Florence. 1 week later, Jake sent me a message. He asked if I wanted to come to his school fair. I felt a little scared, but I also wanted to say yes. I had never been to a school event like that. He said there would be music, food, and of course, Max. I liked the sound of that. I told my parents. My mom smiled. My dad said he could drive me. They were happy that I wanted to go out again. I wore a clean white sweater and brushed my hair. I looked in the mirror and felt okay. My dad helped me into the car and we left. There were many people at the school. Some were walking. Some were laughing. Some were eating ice cream. I saw balloons and games. Then I saw Max. He ran toward me. I smiled right away. Jake followed behind him and waved. I felt better when I saw him. He pushed my chair slowly through the crowd. He showed me the music area, the food stalls, and some other students. Some of them looked at me, but most of them were busy with their own things. I stayed quiet. I was thinking too much. But Jake was calm, and that helped me relax. We went to sit under a tree. It was quiet there. The sky was orange and pink. I watched the light in the clouds. It was nice. Jake sat near me. Max lay down and closed his eyes. I felt warm even though the air was cold. Jake said he liked spending time with me. He told me that I made him smile. I didn't say much, but I felt something good inside. I didn't need to ask him what he meant. I already knew. I had never felt this way before. It was strange, but also soft and light. When I got home, my mom was waiting. She asked if I had fun. I said yes. I didn't tell her everything, but I think she knew. I went to my room and looked out the window. I could still see his face in my mind. His words stayed with me all night. After that day, Jake and I started to talk more. We still met at the park. He sometimes brought juice or a small snack. We talked about books, music, and animals. One day, he asked if I wanted to study again. I said I wasn't sure. I hadn't thought about it for a long time. But later that night, I looked online. I saw a short course about animal care. It looked simple and nice. I read the page many times. Then I signed up. I didn't tell anyone right away. I wanted to try it first and see how it felt. The first class was hard. I didn't understand everything. But I watched the video again. Then I understood more. I took it slow. I was learning step by step. Jake asked me about the class. I told him I liked it. He said he was proud of me. One day at the park, I asked Jake why he liked talking to me. He smiled and said I made him feel calm. He said I was kind and real. I looked away. I didn't know how to answer, but I was happy to hear it. I felt something new in my chest. It was not pain. It was soft. It felt like hope. After a few weeks, I passed my first class. I was very happy. I showed the email to my mom. She hugged me and told me I was doing well. My dad smiled too. He said this was only the start. I looked at them and felt proud. I was doing something again. Jake gave me a gift that week. It was a small necklace. It had the word brave on it. He said I reminded him of that word. I didn't know what to say. I held the necklace in my hand and said thank you. That was all I could say, but I meant it. I started to go out more. I went to the store with my mom. I talked to a few people. I felt a little less scared. Some people still stared, but I did not feel broken anymore. I just felt different. And that was okay. Jake and I did not talk about love, but I knew what we had. It was more than friendship. It was not loud. It was not fast. It was slow and quiet, like a soft light in a dark room. I liked it that way. It made me feel safe. One night I sat by my window. I looked at the street. The lights were yellow and soft. I thought about the girl I used to be, the one who looked down and felt small. I still had the same chair. My legs still didn't move. But I was not the same girl. I was learning again. I was smiling again. I was trying again. And now I also felt something more. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming soon.